This is part 2 on why a slower, worse suspended trail bike can make you a better rider faster. So maybe you're considering buying or downgrading to a little girl's bike, but you're worried that the soft suspension is going to beat you up, you're going to get bounced all over the place. Or maybe you already have one of these bikes and you're finding it hard to ride faster or rougher terrain because once you pick up the speeds, the forks and the shock, they compress and then they rebound you and want to shoot you off because you're losing traction. Well, I want to show you how to adjust your riding technique and body position so that you can ride even better with more control while using less energy because the bike's not bucking you around. So the really common habit is that people want to sit or stand in the same position and react to what the bike does. So when you're accelerating, you give it gas and you get pushed back a little bit on the seat, and then you hit the brake and then you get pushed forward on the bike, so you're pushing and pulling on the bars. Or if you're like riding over rocks, you're kind of stiff and you're feeling every little bump and getting bounced. Or maybe there's whoops on the trail and you're standing up so you have more control, but you're still getting bounced around and going up and down with your knees, and that's really exhausting. But if you change your position a little bit and start anticipating what the bike does, you can conserve a lot more energy so that you won't get exhausted in 10 minutes, but you can ride for an hour or 2 hours and not get bucked around on the bike. So how do you anticipate what the bike is going to do? Well, think about it. When you give it gas, you accelerate, gravity forces you back on the bike, so you get pushed back on the bike. So instead, when you know that you're going to accelerate, you want to shift your body position forward on the bike. That way, once you start accelerating, your body will naturally come back to that neutral position so that you can relax your hands and your arms. So if you're pushing and pulling on the bars when you're braking, accelerating, or going over bumps, that means you're not balanced and you're reacting to the bike. So when you can move your body position ahead of time before the bike moves or before gravity pushes or pulls you, and you can relax your hands, you're going to use a lot less energy. And when you're going over bumps and whoops and obstacles, when you use proper foot position and you're shifting your body weight with your hips, you can absorb a lot of these bumps with your ankles and your legs. So when you hit a bump, your hips, you want to bend at the hips and your weight go back. And then also when you're bending with your ankles, you can absorb a lot of that impact. So instead of going over a whoop, the forks compress 8 inches. If you absorb some of that with your ankles and your butt, it may only compress 4 inches, and then you won't get bucked off the bike as much. Does this make sense to you? Let me know in the comments below. And this is just one of the basic techniques if you want to safely ride trails with confidence while using less energy. And if you want to learn these more in depth and learn them faster, I encourage you to download my free guide on how to safely ride trails with confidence. Link is in the description below. I'm Kelly Fager from Motocross Hideout.